Hey first graders, today is Thursday, May 7th, 2020. This is our last video for the week. We have 3 pages we'll be working on. We are going to do a little bit of work with writing. We are going to continue preparing for writing our own how-to book, but you do not need to begin that how-to book yet. I will give you an assignment and give you other time to work on that. So for now, we're just practicing some skills. So again, our goal is to eventually write a how-to book, but you are not required to do that yet. We're going to get started on page 127. We're going to talk about how we can organize our writing and a special structure that will help us. Let's go ahead and read the directions. It says that authors organize the structure of their how-to books. They include an introduction, steps in order, and a conclusion. So when you guys read a how-to book, you're given this title, you're told what you're going to learn how to do, but there's also an introduction and there's a conclusion at the end. And then all of those steps, the directions, go in the middle. So we are going to practice organizing a text. This text here in this box, it's kind of jumbled. It's not mixed. It's not in the right order. It is mixed up. So we need to read this text. Then we're going to circle the introduction, highlight the steps, and underline the conclusion. So let's go ahead and read this text. Remember, it's jumbled. It says, soon your plant will start to grow. I will show you how to grow a plant. Plant a seed in a pot of soil. Then water the soil. Next, place the pot in a sunny spot. Okay, you guys, so the beginning of this text says, soon your plant will start to grow. That doesn't make sense for the beginning of a how-to because we didn't even know what we were learning how to do. So you need to circle the introduction. So this sentence, I will show you how to grow a plant, is a perfect introduction because the author or the writer is telling the reader what they will learn to do. So go ahead and circle, I will show you how to grow a plant. Go ahead and circle that now. All right, if you have a highlighter or a marker, now we need to highlight the steps. So are the steps this sentence here, soon your plant will start to grow? Or would the steps be plant a seed in a pot of soil, then water the soil, next place the pot in a sunny spot? If you said everything below what I've highlighted, you're right. So you need to get out your highlighter, maybe a marker, and highlight the steps. So we have 3 steps. 1, plant a seed in a pot of soil. 2, then water the soil. And 3, next, place the pot in a sunny spot. So the last thing we need to do is underline the conclusion. We are left with 1 sentence, so you need to underline, soon your plant will start to grow. That's the way the text is ending. Soon your plant will start to grow. So in this text, we're being told, when it's in order, that we are going to learn how to grow a plant. That's our introduction. Then we're provided these 3 steps. We're told exactly what to do to grow a plant. And of course, that plant isn't going to grow right away. So in the conclusion, the author leaves us hanging, but with a sense of closure, saying, soon your plant will start to grow. Okay? I know that the My Turn at the bottom of the page says to create your own how-to draft with this structure. You do not need to do this yet, but at some point, when we do create our how-to writing, you will need to have an introduction and clear steps and a conclusion. So it's important that you understand our work together today. The next thing we need to do is talk about the steps in a process, okay? So we're on the next page, we're on page 128. Authors often use numbers to write the steps of their how-to books in order. So for example, this how-to only has 2 steps. Number 1, buy a bird feeder. Number 2, pour seeds into the bird feeder. Now that makes sense. Step 1 and step 2 are in a sequential order, in a logical order that makes sense. If I told you to pour seeds into the bird feeder before you even purchased or bought the bird feeder, that wouldn't make a lot of sense, which is why authors often use these numbers to make sure the steps don't get mixed up. So for my turn, your job is to draw a line to match each step to the correct number so that the steps are in order. Okay, so our how-to is all about planting a seed. We have step 1, 2, and 3, but they're mixed up. So you will draw a line from the number to the correct direction. Let's read the directions. I have placed the seed in the hole. I have cover up the seed with soil. and I have dig a small hole in the soil. Which direction makes sense to be number 1? You should be thinking dig a small hole in the soil. So you'll connect, draw a line from number 1 to dig a small hole in the soil. What would we do next? Would we cover up the seed with the soil, or would we place the seed in the hole? Well, we can't cover up the seed with soil until we've placed it in the hole. So number 2, you need to draw a line to place the seed in the hole. And that leaves us with number 3 as cover up the seed with soil. So first, you need to dig a small hole in the soil. Then number 2, you need to place the seed in the hole. And number 3, you need to cover the seed with the soil. Okay, remember, you don't need to do anything else yet for your how-to book, but just be thinking about how you need to use this order when you're writing your steps. All right, the last page that we'll be working on today is page 129. It talks about different features and simple graphics. So sometimes how-to books have these features and simple graphics that show the reader how to follow steps or instructions. These can be pictures, they can be drawings, they could even be diagrams. So a picture or a drawing that have labels added to them. So your job is to read these 2 steps and then draw a simple graphic. That just means draw a picture that shows how to follow one of the steps. So number 1 says fill a watering pot with water, and number 2 says pour water over the flower. So you need to pick number 1 and draw a picture of it, or number 2 and draw a picture of it. So if it were me, I might decide to go with number 2, pour water over the flower. So I might draw a flower, and then I might draw someone pouring water over it. Okay, so when you work on your how-to another day, when I give you that assignment, you are also going to add text features and simple graphics to one of your drafts or to your final copy. You're going to create a picture to go along with it. That's all I have for you today. Remember, we're just working on those 3 pages, page 127, 128, and 129. We have our meeting together tomorrow, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you there. And the last thing you need to do this week, if you haven't started your studies weekly, start that today or tomorrow. We are on week 24. The topic is spend or save. And then you also need to take your weekly progress check on MyView. So this is Unit 5, Week 3. Unit 5, Week 3. As always, reach out to me if you need anything or if you just want to say hi. I miss you, and I look forward to seeing you in our meeting tomorrow. Bye, you guys.